making money. So my friends, this is an issue or a topic I will be bringing up again and again and again until these CEOs follow through with their promises, right? There've been a lot of promises out there that, for example, fake names, just fake. Why should I be picking up AK-47 or Ghetto Boy or OC Slut, right? Why do we have to pick up nameless characters, no photos, and drive to this pickup spot with all this anxiety because the company is forcing us to accept Ghetto Boy? Or, I mean, I've seen it all, right? And by the way, if you can share some of the fake names that you have picked up, please put them in the comments box so we can actually show Dara Khosrowshahi, Tony Zhu, David Risher, what type of characters we're actually picking up. So my message, if you're listening in, David Risher, new CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, I know the legal team scrutinize my videos. You need to live up to your promise, right? Fake names. Why are they not abolished? They're still there. They're still swirling around. They're still creating a lot of anxiety. And you still have a lot of riffraff, right? Because some youngsters, third-party riders with fake names think it's cool. Think it's cool to upload some emoji and not have a real photo and have some trashy name. For the driver, it ain't cool. So CEOs, we're waiting. The watch is ticking, we're waiting. When are you finally going to abolish those fake names? Now, next one, photos, right? So they're expecting a driver photo, right? Because when the rider sees the car come up, oh yeah, that's the license plate. Yes, it's a Toyota Camry. Oh yes, his face matches his profile. Yes, I can get in this car. Oh, drive and pick up an emoji or some faceless individual. We want real photos, right? So little word of advice here, good tip to these executives. If you want to stay out of media, if you want to start bringing these carjackings down, if you want to start reducing murders, stabbings, shootings, there's a couple of basics drivers have told you time and time again, right? Put a real photo out there, put a real name out there, and here's the big one, right? Third-party riders. Some mother is getting her son an Uber or a Lyft. They don't even have a profile. They don't have a face. They don't have a name. They have not signed the terms and conditions. They have no binding agreement with Uber and Lyft. Yet, we have these individuals in our cars. And that's the dangerous thing, right? Because you don't know who is ordering an Uber or a Lyft for a friend. That could be a very sus character, right? An individual a third-party individual that should not be on the platform. He or she has not signed any agreement with Uber and Lyft, but however, you know what? We'll take the money from the account holder. It doesn't matter which third party they put in our car, right? And this is dangerous. Hot sauce. This is dangerous. And the CEOs of these companies, the head legal people know this, how dangerous this is. Which poses my next question. If we have a third-party rider in the car that has no binding agreement with Uber and Lyft, and something goes south, surely surely they have breached their contract, right? Because they are not able to show that they have a binding contract with this third party. They only have a binding legal contract with the account holder. So we should be able to sue to the full extent that the law permits, right, against third party riders. Which brings me next to the next point. If you ever have a third party rider that you can't identify because they're simply not on the account, someone ordered a trip for someone, right? You're going to be picking up someone, question mark, question mark, question mark. You don't know what they look like. The name, their face, when you see them in person, does not match the individual on the profile, right? If they have their photo, it's not matching. So you immediately know, this is a third party rider, right? Are you allowed to ask them, hey, are you the account holder? Did someone order the trip for you? Driver, what am I getting into? Like, what am I getting into? Who am I picking up? Is this a dangerous individual? Is this someone disguising themselves under another account, right? And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not opted out from day one out of every single arbitration agreement, and 99.9% of the drivers have not opted out of every single TOS, terms of service, right? They haven't opted out. So, sorry, I got cut off there. What I'm saying is, had a driver yesterday sent me pictures and proof that he was beaten up by a rider, right? Thank you. Somebody just made a donation of $4.99. I appreciate that. Let me check out who that is because I want to give them a shout out. That was Calvin King. Much love to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Fellow Uber and Lyft drivers in New York City and worldwide. Much love to you and your family, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for the high five, $5. I'm going to put that towards the gas. So here's what I'm trying to say, and here's where I'm trying to help drivers. Third-party riders are trouble. They're trouble. Third-party riders are trouble. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where, like this guy got beaten up by a third-party rider, or let's say you get deactivated by a third-party rider, you can't sue them in civil court for a couple of $100,000. You are bound by arbitration because you did not opt out of every arbitration, right? You didn't opt out. And if you're not 100% on top of it from day one, from actually opting out of the original when you signed up, every time there's an update, opt out, opt out, opt out, you can't sue them for the big amount. So what I suggest is go to small claims court. Very simple. $50, $60, $70 filing fee, right? Here's the magic keyword, subpoena. Subpoena the record of the rider. That is the individual you can go against for the full amount. Because contract with a third-party rider or the rider. So although maybe California or let's say Philadelphia will allow you to sue for a maximum of $12,000, you sue the company and get the rider's information, right? They try to withhold that name from you. Now you're entitled to that name because that name may have damaged you. That third party may have hurt you. They may have sexually harassed you. They may have beaten you up or got you wrongfully deactivated. You want that name. And the only way to get that name, ladies and gentlemen, and if this sounds rather confusing to me, rather hit me up so I can explain it. You want to attach a subpoena and get the rider's name. So you can sue the rider for the full extent. You can go to civil court. You know, if they did you harm, if they beat you up, if they stabbed you, you go after them. And people, drivers or riders that turn to the media and get big attorneys involved, usually these attorneys take it on contingency. They want 40%, 60-40. Stacy's in the house. Welcome to, thank you. I appreciate you, Stacy. So there is a way to get to that third party rider. And it is through small claims court, and it's a very simple process. You don't have to go and spend $5,000 to $10,000 on an attorney for a retainer or a down payment. No, you can file the papers yourself and you add a subpoena. I want that rider's name, right? And that's what I helped this driver out yesterday. He showed me the picture of the third-party rider. It was not an account holder that beat him up, right? Beat him up on the street. And what can he get out of Uber? Probably not much, because he's bound by their arbitration. But he can, to the full extent of the law, go after that rider. Never ever be shy to pursue that route through small claims and attach a subpoena, get the rider's name, and then you get a good attorney and sue them in civil court. It's absolute magic for an attorney if you can say, here, I filed this small claims, I have the name for you, here's the rider. To comply with the subpoena, they have to give you the name, and then you file a full lawsuit against that rider. These third-party riders shouldn't be getting away with these atrocities. They shouldn't be allowed to hide under someone else's profile and commit crimes. These third-party riders who haven't even paid, because it's probably paid by a friend, a cousin, or a mother, think they can abuse this platform, hurt the driver, steal their car. Veteran says, when I ask riders to verify the name, several have told me that's not how it works. That is how it works. You verify your name. Guess what? Otherwise, you do not join me on this trip. I leave you there. I decline you. You have to show them right away who is in control, right? You, the driver, are in control. If you show any signs of weakness, especially with these third-party riders who feel very entitled, they will walk over you. They will stampede you if you do not show authority. So show them who's the alpha male, show them who's the alpha female, set the boundaries, set the conditions. By the way, I need to see your, whatever, I need to see your age or your name. I need to verify that you're on the account. Oh, that's not how it works. Yes, that is how it works. No, that's not how it works. Start driving. Sorry, the trip will not start until you have shown me who you are. If not, you can get out the car, and if they want to carry on arguing, trip is ended. Thank you. Step out of my car before I call 911. Kick them out. You have to show authority. And again, to the opening of my video, Daisha, you had requested a 30-minute call with me, a 15-minute call, which became a 30-minute call. I gave you so much good information in that 30 minutes. And I haven't seen you put any of those items, of those points into action, right? Third parties, we talked about wrongful deactivations. We talked about the company underpaying the driver. Why are you wasting 30 minutes of my time if you have zero intentions of rolling out a plan that could work, or rolling out or implementing things that drivers really want? Drivers don't want fake names. Drivers do want to see a real photo. Who am I picking up? Drivers want more clarity around third-party riders. What am I getting myself into? What individual am I picking up? Who is the account holder? Right? So clarity. Clarity will help drivers understand what they are getting into. Right? Just drive to a police station. That's also a good option. When you ask drivers to put on the seatbelt, 10% ask if that's a law. Yeah, hell yeah, it's a law. I saw, in fact, talking about seatbelts yesterday at LAX, I saw a driver get into it with the rider, say, your kids have to put their seatbelts on. No, they don't. Yes, they do. So the lady is arguing, the rider's arguing with the driver, and the driver said, "Ma'am, please, I ask you, the kids need to put their seatbelts on." No, I'm sorry. And these people were from overseas. She said, "No, I'm sorry." He says, "Well, I'm driving. These are my instructions. Your kids, the passengers, have to have a seatbelt on." She ignores him. I overheard the conversation because I'm sitting right next to his car. I rolled down the window and did the driver a favor. I said, "Ma'am, he's the driver. I'm not sure if you locally or you from overseas. This is how it works. Seatbelt on, the trip doesn't start." So just reconfirming what he already said, but a little bit more stricter, showing authority, right? And the trip doesn't start until she fully complies and has her kids all buckled up. That's it. Otherwise, you kick them out. "Thank you very much. The trip is not starting." You have to show authority. You have to show who's the boss, right? You're the boss of the car. Yeah, $500. Thank you very much. And then on top of it, yeah, you're supposed to get a $500 ticket if you get busted. So, showing authority, showing these individuals who's the boss, I think it's a very, very important thing. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for nightmares during that trip. They'll push you around. They'll argue. You set the tone right. You're polite. You're firm. You're professional. You set the tone. "Excuse me, please buckle up." That's not being rude or anything. "No, I'm not going to buckle up." Well, those are the laws. We can start the trip once everyone in the car is buckled up. How about that? Right, so set the tone, show them authority, and third-party riders, my friends, if you have some stories or some horror stories, please, below, comments. Just, they reading this, the companies are reading the comments. It's time to educate these companies how problematic third-party riders are, right? Big problems. Because they believe they can do and say whatever they wish because they're not on the account. There's no binding contract with that third party. So he will push you around, he'll push your buttons, she will push your buttons, they will test you, and you have to set clear boundaries, especially with third party riders, right? Because they will test you. I know. Countless times I've been in a situation where that person is not in the account. That's a male. The account holder's name is a female. So where's this female that I'm picking up? So you're right. You're allowed to ask. So where's Tina? Tina's the account holder. Who is Tina? Oh, she's my aunt. Okay, so she ordered you the trip. Hey, just shut up and drive. Don't ask so many questions. Hey, buddy, I'm asking you. You're not the individual on the account. Just so that we know who I have in my car. How are you associated with Tina? Right? Because the trip doesn't start until you've truly identified yourself. Do you understand? So you set the boundaries, especially with these youngsters, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. They love shooting their shit, especially if you have a group of 20-year-olds and you have one show-off or one person in the car who tries to boast a little bit or flex his power or flex their power. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And you have to single that one person out, right? They think they're like the grand master, the cocky one. You got to single him out and say, hey, do you understand the laws? Do you understand how this works? You're not on the account, so you have nothing to say here. Do you understand that? If you're not happy, you and your friends get out of the car. We're on the same page. Show authority. Especially if you have a big group, and it usually happens if you have 4 or 5 maybe intoxicated males or 4 or 5 intoxicated females in your car. One of them is always going to try and shoot their shit, right? Always. You put them in place right away. Trip doesn't start, my friend. You don't have to give me attitude, right? I'm trying to get you from A to B safely. I don't need your attitude. You're not on the account. You understand? Are we clear? So you set the tone and you set the authority. Picked up third-party 19-year-old. That's trouble. Now, did you guys hear the story? I don't know if this happened in the United States, Australia. The driver kicked out, I think he was an 18-year-old or 19-year-old. Could have been a 21-year-old. And then the rider got hit by a car. I think he set him out on the freeway. You got to ask yourself, why did the driver kick the rider out in the first place? Now, the rider's family sued because that 21-year-old or 19-year-old got hit by a car and died, got killed, right? So the family says, hey, they're suing Uber or Lyft. I don't know which one of the two it is. Hey, you took this rider and you ejected them, you kicked them out in the middle of the highway, whatever, and then they got killed, they got hit by a car. I wonder how that's going to play out, right? But the parents quickly sued Uber and Lyft, and probably the driver as well. So somebody just said, you keep fighting with your riders, you're going to get deactivated. Now, Edward, there is a way to do it, to be diplomatically. You don't want to be cocky. You don't want to be an asshole, right? And if you know you're going to have trouble, you immediately file a report afterwards as well. You don't want to be coupled with this rider again. You give them a 1 star, right? And you say, hey, rider did not, and you always use terms of service. Rider or third-party rider did not adhere to Uber's terms of service, right? You play the legal card. I gave this rider a 1 star immediately afterwards, right? So you protect yourself from deactivation, right? It's not like you're getting into an argument or you want to fight or pick a fight or want to set up a fight or want to start quarreling. That's not the case. You're setting boundaries, right? And you can be very diplomatic. You don't have to get into a full brawl. And if you want to end the trip, make sure right afterwards you rate them 1 star and you write a report. This rider breached numerous terms of service. He did this, he did this, he did this, and I could not safely continue the trip, right? So protect yourself with a written report. I've done that countless times when they think they are above the law or where they think they can push you around. Immediately rated them a 1 and I wrote it up, right? And it's not, we're not going out there to fight with riders, ladies and gentlemen, right? We obviously use the right language to diffuse, to de-escalate, right? Sometimes you'll have a lot of aggression getting in your car, especially 2 a.m. in the morning, multiple people drunk, shooting their shit, right? You're trying to diffuse it. You're using the right words. We are not there to escalate. I can tell you, there are very few drivers that love, unless you want to fight, unless you want to brawl, there are very few drivers that escalate a problem. It's all about de-escalation, bringing down the tone. Hey, I understand that you're upset, but my job is to get you from A to B, right? You guys have had a couple of drinks tonight. I just want to make sure I get you home safe. Is that fair? Right? So can we work together? So you can see that in the tone of the language or the words, the chosen words, that you can immediately de-escalate. When I gave you that scenario of a couple of drunk people getting into the car and you have a couple of people that are very aggressive, see how quickly you can de-escalate? I don't say, hey, MF, you asshole, you drunk, you pissed, you know, you might vomit in my car, get out of here, you trash. You know, that's not how to do it. And that you're setting yourself up for a big fight, maybe for a knife in your stomach. Don't do it. De-escalate. I just want to get you home safely. You guys had a good night. I obviously had a couple of drinks. It's cool. But hey, you're a group of 5 people. My job is to get you home so that you guys can, you know, wake up tomorrow morning and enjoy yourselves. Is that fine? That's not much to ask for, is it? So de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. But sometimes, sadly, especially if there's some crazy fake name, no photo, third party, you're in for a rough ride, my friends, because they think they're the boss. And when I made that video of David Risher, is out in Napa Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, Napa Valley is a very, very expensive location to visit in California. Sonoma, Napa, wineries, Airbnbs, hotels. You're going out for a weekend. You're usually going to be doing a bit of wine, drinking wines, testing wines. It's a pretty damn safe location as far as California. And there you have David Risher driving around. These two youngsters, they look like teenagers. That doesn't represent a typical trip United States of America or South Africa or Brazil, David Risher. You need to be able to switch it up, right? You need to be able to get into any type of scenario, comfortable or uncomfortable, to truly experience what a driver goes through. So, very carefully chosen trip. From a driver's perspective, very see-through. That was obviously a photo op. Hey, look at me, I'm the CEO, I'm driving people around, right? But, you most likely didn't pick up people in Napa Valley. You probably did not pick up Ghetto Slut or AK-47 or Ghetto Boy or whatever. Right now, you picked up, probably played it safe, took two 20-year-olds maybe who had a photo, and they definitely weren't third-party riders. They probably had their own account, their own bank account. So you play it safe. But that's not what rideshare is about. Rideshare is not all about, hey, playing it safe. You get thrown into thousands and thousands of scenarios, and you try and keep, or you try and eliminate issues, problems from happening, right? That's at least, what I experienced. And I once had a guy get into the car. I was in the wrong place, wrong time. He had 3 phones, no photo, some fake name. And the next thing, I was surrounded by 8 or 10 cop cars, all guns drawn. Because in my vehicle, I had some big gang member that they were after. Now, did Uber, it was under Travis Kalanick, did Travis Kalanick vet that individual? Did he make sure he did not have a fake name or real photo? No, he didn't. So you get thrown into that type of scenario. That's like a worst case scenario, right? I mean, you get the good guys, you get the bad guys. The bad guys know how to use and abuse the platform, right? Unfortunately, we're thrown right into the middle of these scenarios, right in the middle. And it's like, oh, driver, figure this one out. I'm the company Uber, and I have just paired you with a gangster or a drug lord or an escort or a drug trafficker. Go figure it out. Go figure it out, driver. No, you could do a much, much better job, Dara Khosrowshahi. You could do a much better job, David Risher, on vetting or, using mechanisms in the app to eliminate a lot of the riffraff. You've promised us, and again, haven't delivered. None of you have delivered on the promise, but you promised to eradicate, you promised to get rid of these fake names. Still there. Still hear it every day. Oh, I had to drive this person, or I had to drive Glock or AK-47. I mean, really? Your profile name AK-47? Really? That's not going to make a driver feel reassured. So we need to start there. We need more checks and balances on third-party riders, or abolish third-party riders completely. If you are not the account holder, you should not be in the car, right? That's another option. But Uber and Lyft know, and the same goes for DoorDash and all of these, they know how much money they make. If there's an account holder and then someone says, hey, can I order DoorDash under your account? Hey, can I order an Uber under your account? Yeah, sure. Could be Could be a cousin of a cousin of a cousin. So, just saying, here come the troubles. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. 55 people in the house. We're on our way to LAX. Let's circulate the video, share it on Facebook pages, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, on Threads, share it on YouTube, tweet it out. Let's get the word out, right? More clarity on third-party riders, no fake names. And ladies and gentlemen, a driver deserves to see what you look like. What do you look like? Show me your photo. Are you too afraid to show your photo? What are you hiding? Why are you hiding behind a fake name and no photo? What's really going on there, right? So we need clarity. David Risha, if you're listening up, take notes. Dara Koshashawi, if you're listening up. Andrew McDonald, Tony West, all those trash executives, take notes. These are the basics that are going to keep you out of the news, that are going to keep you out of the headlines. They're going to start bringing down carjackings. They'll bring down murders. We've given you such simple suggestions, but you're not able to enforce them. Why? Why are you not able to enforce eliminating fake names? Why are you not able to enforce mandatory photos, ID photos? Why? What are you hiding? What are you so afraid of? Oh yeah, every dollar counts. We get it. The investors put pressure on us. Every dollar counts. So, less restrictions for riders. We don't want to make riders feel frustrated or restricted. That cop just busted a guy with a phone. So please, these companies can do so much more. And to get rideshare and food delivery, they can do so much more vetting these riders. They're not running a full background check. We get it. You're not running a full background check on a rider. We get it, right? You don't want to pay that money. But at least no fake names, at least a real photo, so we can see, hey, who's getting in our car? What are we getting ourselves into, right? We drive into too many of these unknowns. If you're doing 25, 30 trips a day, I bet you anything, 2 or 3 of those create high anxiety, right? Oh, I'm in this area, I shouldn't be in this area. By the way, you're an independent contractor. If you don't want to drive there, you don't drive there. Don't let them force you or threaten you. Oh, you got to accept. You need to stop canceling. If you do not feel right, if your gut feeling says this is not right, cancel. Don't take it. Follow your gut always. Your gut never lies. Your gut instinct will never ever let you down. It's a weird feeling that comes up in your soul, in your stomach. Now this doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Nada, niet, no, nein, nichts. Don't do it. So we're now by the 101 and 405. Hate this intersection. And a little reminder, pay. Don't slash the pay, don't cut the pay. Very good point. Victor says never take low ratings or third-party riders. I mean, if you would follow that formula that Victor just said, never take low ratings. Very good point, right? If it is so low, there's a reason why that rider has such low remarks. You are having trouble getting to your car. So I like what you say, Victor. Never take like ultra low ratings. And third-party riders, I'm sorry, but if you're not identifying yourself, and if you're not supposed to be in my car, I shouldn't be taking you, right? But yeah, low ratings, oh my gosh, they tell you a story about a rider. Yeah, Lyft will offer $2-3 bonus to stay in a bad area. Like, we'll throw a couple of extra dollars. We know this is an unsafe area. Here we are, we're dangling $2, accept someone here in this bad area. I mean, it's all manipulation, right? It's all how they program the algorithm. They know you don't want to be there, yet they waive those 1 or 2 extra dollar notes. And the desperados go for it, right? The desperados know no limits, no boundaries. They will drive anywhere for $2, $3, $4. But I would hate to see the earnings of many of these desperado drivers, because in 3 or 4 years time, your car is done. You have 400,000 miles on your car. You've accepted every trash offer, right? You still owe money to the bank, and you're not making any. And I talk to so many of these desperados. Stop taking these bullshit fares. Know what your minimum is. If you're not willing to drive for that amount, then cherry pick. Take and show your worth, right? I will only take this trip because this is my minimum. Don't be a desperado that takes anything and everything, right? You're not making money if you're acting as a desperado. You're not making money. You're working backwards. You will be facing horrendous maintenance bills in year 3 or 4. You're paying the car off for 6 years. Your car is trashed. It's done, right? It's run into the ground. Why? Because you went out there and accepted every single trip. And usually those desperados, they stop making payments, and then the car gets repossessed, and then they can't finance another car, and they'll hustle some cash here, they'll hustle some cash. Or I see many of them, they try to come to us operators and they try to lease a car. I can see them from a mile away. Right? Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it up to 50. Too many men are getting into my vehicle under a woman's name. Isn't that strange, right? Isn't that strange? Too many men getting in her car under a woman's name. I mean, how does that make you feel? Like, you're going there, you're expecting to pick up this woman, and then there's some dude who looks very suspect who's getting in your car. How does that make you feel, especially as a female driver? How are you associated with the account holder? None of your business. Yes, it is my business. Your name is not on the account, sir. Shut up and drive. Look, I ask you a simple question. My safety, your safety. Please identify yourself. Right? This shut up and drive bullshit. I've been told shut up and drive. I let the kids, I threw them out. I threw them out on La Cienega in Hollywood. Doesn't work like that, my friend. There is no such thing as shut up and drive. My answer, my retort is, you shut up and walk. Or get your skateboard. Or get something you can afford, because you certainly can't afford a car. I'll shut those little MFs down, especially if they're little cocky teenagers. Now, if you're a male or a female and you've got 4 or 5 drunk guys get in the car, yeah, then you're up against something. That's going to be a little bit more problematic. But these young little cocky individuals, put them in their place. Show them who's the boss. 3 accidents here. Wow, within a half a mile. 3 accidents. Actually, my client is touching down in about 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm nowhere near to the airport, so I believe I'm going to be late. Oh shit, what's this guy doing? This cop's pushing a truck in reverse. Holy shit, what's going on here? Wow. Big accident. 85 people in the house. Smash the like button. Let's get it out there. I want more comments, right, on third-party riders. More comments on fake names, fake IDs, more comments on people with emojis and not real faces, right? Let's put some constructive suggestions out there so that these companies, especially their legal departments, can read your comments and hopefully act on it, right? Dara Khosrowshahi, unacceptable fake names. You promised us, haven't delivered on your promises. Same with David Risher. What's up with these fake names? Why are they still on our platform? Why is OC Slut, Ghetto Boy, and AK-47 still on the platform, right? Where are the real photos? You demand them from drivers. Where are the real photos? The photo IDs of these riders, where are they, right? What type of vetting system do you have in place for these third-party riders who feel very, very entitled when they get into your car? Very entitled. What type of plans do these CEOs have? Right now, it doesn't look like they have a plan because they'll accept $1 from anyone and everyone. Somebody just threw down $10. Let me find out who that was. That was James Lee. Thank you, sir. Headline this week. Lyft driver who worked as U.S. interpreter in Afghanistan shot dead in Washington no longer will go to D.C. at all. Yeah, that is a really, really sad story, isn't it? Someone that really sacrificed his name, his family, worked to keep us safe, and then comes back here and pays the ultimate price with death. It was a terrible story. Those 4 kids, remember you saw them running down the road? You only heard one shot in the alley. There was a shot in his head. I hope they catch those 4 kids. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. There were a lot of cameras tracking them. So it's a matter of time and they'll have those four characters. Don't go into dangerous areas, my friends. Even if they say they will deactivate you, always remember you're an independent contractor. David Cortez is in New Hampshire. Gift cards, bad idea, bad idea. I mean, I don't know when enough is enough for these companies. I mean, how many times do they want to make headlines, right? Every single day, multiple times now. Every single day, multiple times. Why? Especially because third-party riders know, oh, I'm not on the platform. They don't see my face, so I can commit atrocities. I can commit crimes. I will probably get away. You'll never get away. There'll either be a dash cam who catches your ass, or someone that knows you who'll catch your ass, or some house camera or business camera that'll pick. You'll never get away. So why, if you're a thug, why you think you can act as a third party, abuse somebody else's account and think you're going to get away with it? You will never, ever get away. Your chances of not getting caught are close to zero. You will always get caught. So why do it? Why commit that crime? Why? Thank you very much for the donations, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody threw down 5, somebody threw down 10. Much appreciated. 82 people in the house. Very, very important topic that we need to address, right? Your comments, please, on third-party riders. Your comments, please, on these fake names still swirling around, right? Your comments, please, on no photo IDs, just some random Google picture uploaded or some emoji. How is that going to help the driver? So can't these companies brainstorm ways of keeping themselves out of the news, out of the headlines? I mean, are they not able to come up with some sort of game plan to counter this? Or is this the norm? Is this like, oh, this is what's accepted every single day? Oh, we're okay with that. You know, as long as we make the money, we don't care about the stories. A driver can be replaced with another driver. Dead driver can be replaced with a living driver who has a heartbeat. The person who loses his heartbeat can be replaced with someone who has a heartbeat. It's all about the money, right, Dara? All about the money. All about the money. Get the fuck out of here. Dara, seriously? All about the money. No heart. No heart, the CEO. Nothing. %. I like it. Their vetting situation is, how much money are you going to pay us? I like that. You're right. How much money are you going to pay us? If you're willing to pay us, we'll look the other way. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. We'll take your money. We don't care. Now I need to keep a little bit of a watch on the watch, because I am running late and I'm running into some thick traffic. Ladies and gentlemen, please circulate the videos on social media. Please leave your comments below. Share your horror stories. Nothing wrong with sharing your horror stories. I've shared many of my horror stories. We're not here to escalate problems. We're here to de-escalate problems. We strike, we protest, we boycott peacefully. We talk about the same points. We need to be paid better and we need to be kept safe. And we're not going to stop. We don't have to resort to violence. We don't have to burn down buildings. We will use social media. We will use peaceful boycotts, protests, and strikes until we achieve our goals. Right, so be relentless, keep on striking, keep on boycotting, keep on protesting, and most importantly, use the most powerful tool out there, social media, right? Ask these people, hey, Dara Koshashawi, ? What are you doing about fake profiles, fake IDs? Still no action, right? Tweet, boom. Hey, David Risher, I see you're in the news again. Another driver got killed. When are you going to step up your safety measures? ? Tweet, Facebook, get it out. Humiliate this, call them out, call out the names, call out the investors. Hey, investor so-and-so, is this all you're interested in? Or are you also possibly interested in saving a couple of lives? Here are some suggestions how to save driver lives. Here are some suggestions on how to save rider lives. Or is that all you care about, the investor? There's a lot of families that have been hurt, a lot of families that have been turned upside down because Uber, Lyft, DoorDash haven't kept them safe. Treat their drivers like trash, right? Disposable. We can replace a dead driver with a living driver. We can replace that dead driver with another living driver. That's how they roll. Again, nothing is going to change. Change doesn't come overnight, my friend. It doesn't. And right now, these investors are happy as pigs in shit right now because their stock almost at $45. Lyft actually got a bump up to 11. They're out of the 9s. I mean, Uber just marched from 29 all the way up to 45. So they're flush with money. Flush with money. Dumb and Dumber, like the movie. Well, I think they are running the companies like Mr. Dumb and Mr. Dumber. All right, my friends, I got to communicate with my client. They just touched down. I'm still 20 minutes away. I hope that, hope they don't immediately get a bridge and can deplane. Sometimes if they can't get a gate, it's a good thing. You get yourself a couple of minutes extra. So in this case, I hope that they don't immediately get a gate. They're still sitting in the plane for another extra 10 minutes. Shout out to sponsors GigRocket. If you have been deactivated, go to gigrocket.com. $69. We'll file the appeal. The appeal also sets you up for damages. You can also file in small claims court and go for damages. Or, hey, if you want to start your own company or your own fleet, got great courses at gigrocket.com. Shout out to Legal Rideshare. If you ever get into an accident, hit up Brian Greening and his crew. Definitely go and get yourself a dash cam. Even better, get yourself Display Ride. Uploads all the footage directly into the cloud. So shout out to those 3 sponsors. And have a great day, my friends. 81 people in the house. Please, please, please be safe. From my family to yours, much love. Please be safe, my friends. Be vigilant. Doors locked, windows up. Check it out. If you don't feel right, if your gut feeling says, I'm in the wrong area, pass. You are worth more. You listen up. You're worth far more than the dumb Uber threat that comes from AI. They send you a general, just because you didn't accept in that area, oh, you're discriminating. No, you're not discriminating, you're keeping yourself safe. Your safety comes first, right? Many states you can carry. There's a lot of drivers that'll say, screw Uber and Lyft, I'm gonna carry. I've got my gun in a holster, I've got my in a seat holster. I'm on the ground. Protect yourself at all times. Pepper spray, whatever it takes, my friends. Dash cams. Way too many horror stories every single day. Why? Because these companies are failing their drivers. They are failing their food delivery drivers. They're failing their rideshare drivers. Investors don't care a continental shit about our safety. All that matters to these investors is the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Don't give them safety. Show me the money. Don't give them safety. Show me the money. Pay them poorly. Give us the money. Right? I mean, Dara Khosrowshahi just cashed out on millions and millions and millions of stocks. Money you brought in. Money I brought in. Right? We paying these thugs. So at least what we demand in return, dear CEOs, keep your drivers safe. To recap, leave your comments below. Third-party riders, major trouble, major issues. Are they bound by the terms, TOS, terms of service, the agreement? They don't feel like they are. Who's accountable here? These third-party riders do what they want. We don't want fake names anymore. We want to see real photo IDs. And at least if you're putting a third-party rider in our car, there have to be more checks and balances. And that is the message I'm going out with to these companies. These are 3 basic requirements. Step up, start saving lives, keep the statistics down. Drivers, your comments please. Rip loose down below underneath this video. Let your comments out. Whatever's on your mind, whatever suggestions, whatever anger, whatever anxiety, let it out. Let it rip. Let it rip. Appreciate you all. Please, ladies and gentlemen, be safe out there. I am about to pick up a passenger and make myself a sweet $180 plus tip. Have a good one. Take care, everyone. Rhode Island, New York, Texas, all of you guys. Be safe out there. Please be safe.